One of my wife's favorite memes is the meme that says men used to go to war and now they order matcha. I don't know if you've seen it before, but every time we're watching a movie or a show that has a war, I make that joke to her because I know it's going to make her smile. We're watching House of David. There's a lot of like very heavy like war scenes in it where it depicts, and we think of war in the context of now, maybe World War II, but imagine back then, like think Kingdom of Heaven, think House of David, where people are charging at each other with swords and stuff. Pretty scary stuff. But as we were watching it, I started to think, you know, now in the Old Testament, the the Israelites had to fight their enemies physically, but in the New Testament, we have to fight sin spiritually. And made me think, and I talked to my wife as we were watching this. You know what? Men did used to go to war, and not just in a physical sense, but a really spiritual sense as well too. What happened as a generation that men stopped going to war for the families. If you look at churches now, I primarily attend Hispanic churches, and my experience is more with Hispanic churches, but there is a decline in men going to churches. Primarily, the people that you see at church are women; they're not men. I always hear stories about or testimonies about people who had a mother who prayed for them, and that's amazing. I had a father that prayed for me. I had a father that went to war for his family and went to battle, and I don't see that enough in church. More and more I see in the context of church women taking the role of men. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying that we see more women at church, and often women have to fill up leadership roles because men aren't filling those roles. But even in their own families, it's women who are teaching the Bible, it's women who are teaching their children how to pray, it's women who their children see attend church and pray, and we see less and less of men doing this. I saw the statistics. If you look at the percentage, the probability of a family following a mother to church is way less than the probability of a family following the father when it goes to church. I think it's up to 90% more likely that the family will go to church if the father goes to church. So I was thinking, yeah, it seems that even at churches, when you look for volunteers to preach, when you look for volunteers to disciple people, there are more and more women willing to step up to those roles than men. And I see less and less men wanting to preach, less and less men wanting to disciple other people. But they're happy sitting around in coffee shops, reading the word, drinking a matcha. I grew up with strong men leading in the church, strong men discipling other men, strong men praying, strong men preaching, strong men doing the things that are required to do to raise a family, not just providing for the family, not just working, not just sustaining a family, but actually going to the trenches for their family, actually praying for their children, laying hands on their children, praying over them, protecting them, encouraging, leading them to go to church, discipling them in the word. This is something that I desire for my own family. And I've been asking God, make me a man who's willing to go to war and not become like the generation of so many Christian men who are happy just sipping on their matcha when there's a war to be fought out there. See, we desire marriage, we desire family, but we don't desire the warfare that goes with it. We don't desire the warfare that is raising children. Just has become kind of an aesthetic to us. And so as I'm here about to drink this, I'm thinking about that. We may not ever be called to battle physically, but the Bible does call us to put to death all the things of the flesh, to war, this to battle in spiritual warfare. And that's what I want to inspire a generation of people to think. It's time to leave behind the performative Christianity and step into God's design. Remember, because we were made for more than just sipping on a matcha. I really think we were created to not just sit on social media and give our opinions, but sit in prayer closets, sit in our word, sit in the secret place, disciple others, not just through a screen, but in person, and raise godly generations. So, let's put the matcha down and go to war. Let's pick up the sword.